Welcome to readtheticker.com. The composite man, in an effort to acquire your position, will either tire you out or shake you out, or both, to motivate you into selling. This is the psychological game of the markets. You have a position, it may be underwater for 20%. But the informed are taking the time to accumulate float, stock, materials or commodities or whatever, because they know eventually that the situation will change and demand will come to the market and the prices will change. They also know that the public market is more emotional and more likely to give up on a position or rotate out of a position. Let's have a look at Richard Wyckoff's words. Part of the RTT Plus service, that's where we are now, the RTT private blog. We go to RTTWC and we select the Richard Wyckoff stock trading manual, and we want to go to, this is the heading, we want to select refinements number 21M. Okay. Yeah, in this a few paragraphs, Richard Wyckoff talks about an ordinary shakeout or a terminal shakeout. The difference between the two is that a terminal shakeout is preceded by a period of accumulation. So therefore, a terminal shakeout is a spike down that is a deliberate manipulation to shake out the weak hands to gather or sweep up any remaining stock float they can get their hands on who do not have the resolve to hold on. And in the manual actually gives some examples. Here's an example here. New York Times. Obviously this was written in 1934 or something, but it's all relevant today. Anaconda stock, I think it's the index up here. It showed actually about a year of accumulation and then it had a sharp spin down, broke into new ground, busted all the stops, bit of an ABC down before the accumulation slowly kicked in. Sorry, not the accumulation, the rally kicked in and the volume took off. This is a terminal shakeout after a period of accumulation. That's one example. And here's a point of figure chart where we had the sharp collapse down, a period of accumulation. Price has been defended at this line here, and you have a sharp spike down and a sharp that was followed by a rally afterwards. This is a 3-point figure chart, and here's a 2-point figure chart of the same stock. So that there is called a terminal shakeout because it appears after a period of accumulation. An ordinary shakeout is something when you have a rally going up and you get a change in character, a spike down, or if it's a sell-off, you get a spike up. It's just an ordinary shakeout, just to bust stops. Here we've got a deliberate period of accumulation. The composite man's been accumulating stock float, and he just wants to gather the remaining stock float up from the weekends who can't or don't have the bottle to hang on. Okay. Here's an example of an ordinary shakeout. An ordinary shakeout is where the price, for example, here's an ordinary shakeout where the overextended selling climax. Here's another example of an ordinary shakeout. Strong trend down, and we get a sudden widespread rally up with a high close. It sort of busts the trend line, but really then it's sold down pretty quickly after. There's no accumulation going on here. It's just an ordinary shakeout, bang, and it continues the trend. So that really was probably short profit, bit of profit taking, bit of covering, and a sort of a support level, and then the trend continues down. But there's no accumulation before that, so that's an ordinary shakeout. You can read the words of Richard Wyckoff in here to understand, to improve your knowledge on what a shakeout is and where it occurs. I want to show you an example of a security that is likely to experience a shakeout because we have got an accumulation, but like everything else, the composite man wants to do everything it can to upset the apple cart and to get hold of your position. here I have the SLV ETF. Okay, so what we have here, we have two, I would say we've had a large sort of stepping stone here, another stepping stone, and even a smaller stepping stone down here. First thing to notice in this chart is that the thrust down is getting smaller. So selling is becoming exhausting. Well, sorry, that's not correct. Selling has been exhausted. Okay, less and less thrust. So we are starting to get probably a bit of a rounded bottom, or yeah, you can see that the line and the channel line here starting to move away from the bottom line. So we've got a little bust of support down here. We've had different stages of accumulation there in this box area. Now I'm watching to see what happens here. We've had very light volume, as you can see down below here. One of the very reliable signs that a market is done selling is that the volume shows dullness. So as you can see here, selling has been very active on these red bars here. And as you can see, the red bars down below are just beginning to tire and be pretty dull, and that's shown up in our volume indicator here. As you can see here, the below zero, or I should say it's all zero, but below the black line, pressure and volume on the downswing is getting less and less and less. There just isn't the same vim and vigor and push the price down. And we may even get a bit of divergence on the monthly chart. Have to wait and see. But I suspect I'm watching for a bit of a plunge, maybe down below 14, where it's busting all the stops. All the people who can't hold it over there. I'm watching for a bit of a smash down. It may go down to 1350. Then obviously a terminal shakeout must show a smash down and a smash back up. So it may happen over 1 or 2 months. This is a monthly chart. It's the silver ETF. So that would be a change in behaviour if we have a blue bar turn out right on after this period of dullness. Because it's the change after a period of dullness that you can see that the attitude has changed. So I'd watch out for a terminal shakeout both in gold and silver, and to be aware that selling is drying up. There is no force in the volume. It is dull. It is taking the path of least resistance. With a dull volume and the narrow spreads, it's ripe for a challenge to the upside. It's a very vulnerable chart. I hope you understand more about the terminal shakeout and an ordinary shakeout. Richard Wyckoff logic is probably the best known logic to understand supply and demand, and how the composite man moves prices around. Thanks for watching.